My life as a 36-year-old simp in Austin. The day started right with a wedding gift letter from my dad's best friend saying there's nothing better than a Korean wife. He also gave us $1,000, so we let it slide. We then were paid a surprise visit from our friend Steven, who's in town from Colorado for work, visiting one of his job sites where he uses technology to track children and their movement. I made a tangy round of margaritas for the boys and an Aperol spritzer for my fiancée Megan. Then we were off to the pool to cool off. Steven and I caught up and recalled good times from high school back when we both still had dreams and ambitions. All of the pool action worked up quite an appetite, so we headed off to Austin's #1 sandwich spot, Home Slice. Our order was delayed, so Steven wandered off, and I found him watching children play, free from any tracking devices. We drank Lone Star beer and discussed the war in Ukraine.
John, you gotta drink the beer fast, otherwise it gets warm in this kind of weather.
That comment kind of pissed me off, but lucky for us, we finally landed our sandwiches and brought home the bacon to my very hungry fiancé. The sandwiches were perfectly created with bread that reminded us of back home in the Northeast where we've left behind our friends and family. We went to work eating the sandwiches, but unfortunately for us, Steven left his manners in Colorado and decided to unleash a series of parlor tricks at the dinner table that he learned on Instagram. With bellies full of nourishment, we set out into the night to our favorite watering hole, the Silver Medal, famous for being a top 5 dive bar in Austin. We got right to work on some raspberry-flavored Jell-O shots, and at this stage I was drinking as many beers as possible to tamp down the growing anger and frustration I was having with Steven. He wouldn't stop telling us about how much better the weather was in Colorado, and that his latest child tracking device is almost ready to take to market after some successful tests in his basement. Despite this, the Silver Medal raged on with its hometown laid-back atmosphere and cheap drinks. There was no amount of Busch Light to drown out Steven's voice though, so to calm myself down, we did a series of arm poses with Steven as a distraction from my violent thoughts. Steven made a submarine joke that didn't land, so we drove home in silence. To resuscitate the night, we put on one of my favorite movies, Vertical Limit, and enjoyed some buttered popcorn just like in the movie theater.
I think my stomach's still up there.
Vertical Limit features my favorite actor, Bill Paxton, but Steve couldn't help but talk throughout the movie.
What are they doing?
We were also surprised to see that young Ben Mendelsohn was in Vertical Limit in a really classy guy role. What a cool guy.
Man, climbing in Colorado is like football in Texas.
That comment really set me off, so I decided to poison Steven with some Fernet Blanca so I could try to enjoy the last half of the movie. The poison took effect and Steven was out cold, but unfortunately he passed out before he could drink a lethal dose, so I strangled him in the hallway after the movie so that we wouldn't have to hear his stupid mouth ever again. On Sunday morning, Megan and I set out to do errands like getting her Volvo AC60 washed. We always enjoyed the car wash to give her car a nice shine, but also to remove any evidence of Steven's visit. We went home to Home Depot and to Target to get the best deals on plastic bags, zip ties, shovels, and lye for our house chores such as digging holes, mulching, cleaning the pool, and wrapping up the perfect weekend with some fresh mulch on top of my latest flower.